Honestly, it's sad that in 2025, a creator has to make a video to other creators explaining to them why they are not getting paid on TikTok in South Africa. People are going live making claims that TikTok is essentially just dishing out money from their creator fund just because you are getting views, and that is what they are doing, which is the furthest thing from the actual truth. So I'm going to put this into a few steps just to make it make sense. 1, getting paid. Firstly, the fight for the creator fund is not going to happen anytime soon. Just because you're getting views doesn't mean you're going to get paid. You need to qualify as a creator. So accounts like News Nexus that's sharing this stuff as well, you are just reposting other TikTok content. TikTok is very clear in their creator fund that you may not use other content that is already on the app and repost it to get paid, which means half of the people that are complaining that are trying to stitch stuff and just make random content, you're not going to get paid anyway. I mean, think about it. Imagine I stole your TikTok video and posted it on my account and got paid for it. Not very fair, is it? Now, why on earth would TikTok pay you? And this is the question that no one is actually asking. Why would they pay you to create content and get views? They're not going to take money out of their back pocket that's just freely available that they've made somehow and give it over to you. Because there's a simple answer to this, and that is advertisers. And that leads me to my next point, advertisements. For you to get paid through TikTok Creator Fund, they do what they call a revenue split. So there's nothing special about TikTok that just because you're getting views, you're going to get paid. So basically, if TikTok is getting hundreds and hundreds of millions of rands from advertisers in South Africa per month, they will do a revenue split for your views because you are keeping people on an app that is getting advertisements, because those advertisers want to pay to be seen. You can see where this is going. But the problem is in South Africa, there's not a lot of adverts running on TikTok. Bear in mind, this is only paid to the accounts that qualify for the creator fund. But where's the advertisers? Brands do not want to pay for advertisements on TikTok in South Africa. There are a handful that pop up here and there. You see them for a week or two, and then they disappear. Remember the Doritos ad? Every time you opened your app, you just saw Doritos. I went into that ad and everyone was just complaining. We've seen enough of this ad. We don't want to see this anymore. It was just spam comments and hateful comments that was more damaging to the brand. So if you had that brand, why would you advertise on a platform that is so toxic? And I'm going to get to that in a bit, because what happened with TikTok in South Africa, influencers started doing their own personal brand deals with the brands. So if Doritos wanted to do something, they would come to me personally, I would post some form of content and they would pay me, leaving TikTok out of the entire equation, and there's just a transaction between me and Doritos. But I've personally spoken to brands, marketing agencies, and even global brands that are trying to advertise in South Africa. They don't want TikTok. And that leads me to point number 3, the problem with TikTok in South Africa. TikTok in South Africa is absolutely toxic. You mindlessly just scrolling and scrolling through absolute garbage 99% of the time. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but unfortunately, those are the facts. In South Africa, it's more about tick box and someone pitching up at someone's funeral drunk, or some person that you don't like because they fought with someone on a live and everyone recorded that live and it's the hot news on Monday morning because someone got drunk on a live. That is the entire TikTok culture in South Africa. And if you're a creator in South Africa on TikTok and you create good content, I'm sorry, but you are capitalized with all those people. And I would highly suggest you look for a different avenue. You see, the problem with TikTok and brands is this. TikTok started a thing called trends. I mean, come on, it's basically copying people. It's a license to copy, and you've just given it a name. This isn't fair. Come to YouTube, copy someone's work, and see what happens. Recently, a gym influencer that admired another gym influencer on Instagram or TikTok decided to open up a YouTube channel. He copied said YouTuber's video and posted it on his YouTube channel, trying to do the trend/TikTok Instagram reel culture. Said influencer blasted him and absolutely wrecked his reputation because he copied him. The problem is TikTok is just another way for ordinary people to post content. And the biggest issue with that is influencers are now calling themselves content creators. You are not a content creator. A content creator is someone that creates content for a brand or something else. Influencers got a bad name, they changed their name, and now they're trying to call themselves content creators. An influencer posting something that they did or a photo of a pizza that they saw is just as good as my 65-year-old mom posting a picture of her sausage dog. She's also creating content for an app. There is no difference. TikTok in South Africa is becoming unwatchable. More people are gravitating to YouTube, and to be 100% honest, the ban on TikTok in America literally highlighted that. Everyone was complaining and saying that now we can see Australian content, UK content. The biggest issue here is that your trends were based on US content. There is no original content on TikTok in South Africa. And once again, I'm putting an umbrella over this because there is maybe 1 or 2 accounts that do have good content, but unfortunately, you are under that umbrella. This is why people are spending more time on YouTube lately. YouTube is growing. Brands are spending money there. Ask yourself a simple question. If you had 200,000 Rand to throw at your brand for online advertising this year, where are you going to spend it? You've got Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Google Ads, and so much more. The last place that you're going to spend that money is TikTok. It's true. Like I said, marketing agencies and companies all over South Africa have said this. I have seen the brand deals pitch up at our door. Not a single one of them bring up TikTok. It's Instagram and YouTube. No one cares about Facebook. No one cares about TikTok, unfortunately, when it comes to brands. But on top of all of this brings me to my next point. What would you earn? So let's just say the Creator Fund made it. What would you earn as a TikToker in South Africa? Because I think this is the biggest question that everyone's asking. So many people are complaining. So let's put the numbers down and see what you would qualify for. Because you're complaining now, and I promise you're going to complain again. Like I said, to qualify for Creator Fund, your videos must be authentic, original, and you need to create them. It's not about taking someone else's video and reacting to it, or just posting something else. You need to actually create content. Not just that, qualifying videos also need to be 1 minute long. Most of the stuff is like 6 to 12 seconds of someone dancing irrelevantly on TikTok, or it's a clip of something random. Next, you have to have 10,000 followers as well as 100,000 views in the last 30 days. Now, if you do not meet that criteria, you won't even be considered for the Creator Fund. And finally, how much do you get paid? So the thing is this, I make a video on how much you get paid on YouTube and everyone goes in the comments and says, it's not worth it, it's not worth it. The problem is the grind has to be real. This isn't an easy avenue out. I've made 450 videos in the last 9 years. Some of them are hidden on my YouTube channel, but those videos have been created. That's nearly 1 a week. And on top of that, we're talking about hundreds and thousands of rands worth of gear. So my question to you is, why would TikTok pay you as much as a full-blown YouTube video just based on the fact that it's a short? It's essentially just a short little video. Why would you get paid a very similar amount when it's kind of disposable content? And we're getting paid around $2 to $6 per 1,000 views. And you guys are moaning, that's about 65 Rand per 1,000 views in South African currency. Now, YouTube Shorts, on the other hand, they only paying R1 to R1.50 per 1,000 views in South Africa. And all of you, when that came out, said it's not worth it. Well, I hate to break it to you, but the stats, unfortunately, on TikTok is even less. The average American account is getting around 2 to 4 American cents per 1,000 views. That's about 30 cents in South Africa. And based on the fact that when the Creator Fund launches, if it does, the markets will be tested. In other words, advertisers will be paying a very low rate. You're probably going to be looking at far less than 30 cents per 1,000 views. So to put this into a slightly bigger picture for all of you to understand. So if you wanted to get 5,000 Rand out of TikTok per month in South Africa, let's call it a little sideline business. Basically, you would need to generate 16 million views a month. That's 32 videos a month at 500,000 views per video. Now, the problem is, once you start earning money, you try and create better and better videos. The biggest problem with that is the better the video gets, the longer it takes, meaning it's no more 32 videos a month. It's going to come down a little bit more, or you're going to end up just upping the quantity and lower the quality, meaning your audience retention is not going to be there. People aren't going to watch. And as it is, you need to make your video a minute long, meaning your content is going to start becoming very boring, very fake, or just unwatchable. This happens to every creator. we are always looking to create content. We try and better ourselves. And unfortunately, when you play in a numbers game like on TikTok, when you're racing for views because the rate per 1,000 views is so low, this is what's going to happen. So if the Creator Fund launches, I don't want to see you complaining again, making this toxic TikTok in South Africa about how little money you're getting, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to get almost next to nothing for 1 million views. And then you're going to moan about that too. But unfortunately, this is the reality. There's no easy way out on just creating content. It's a difficult industry. Now, I'm not just going to leave you there. Of course, I'm going to give you a solution. If you've watched this channel for a couple of years, you'll know that we're pretty open about content. How to do cool lighting, do things, film stuff, and show you super cool camera gear. So obviously, I'm going to come here and give you a solution, right? Well, I am. You have chosen to sit on an app that's not paying you for years and build an audience knowing you weren't getting paid. And now you're complaining. Come on. YouTube Shorts pays creators in South Africa. But the biggest problem is you don't have the toxic culture on YouTube Shorts. So you're not going to get the views like TikTok. So most of you stay away. It's the truth. And if it hurts, I don't care. Whilst YouTube Shorts is paying R1 to R1.50 per 1,000 views, and the TikTok Creator Fund might come in at 20 to 40 cents per 1,000 views, I mean, that's a fifth of what you could possibly earn. Why don't you just head over to YouTube Shorts, start posting, and then get monetized? Yes, just like the Creator Fund with 10,000 followers, there's criteria for YouTube Shorts too that you need to pass. But the nice thing about YouTube Shorts is if you do build a bigger audience, you can also do long form video like this. And doing long form video like this comes in at a much higher RPM, payment per 1,000 views, as opposed to Shorts. So you can bring your audience over. It's a much more long-term thing if you are into creating content rather than just trying to make a quick buck. So my question to you is, if TikTok hasn't been paying you and you all know YouTube is, why aren't you there? Why aren't you on YouTube Shorts posting content? And like I said, the reality is toxic, complaining, negative, and that is unfortunately the entire notion around TikTok in South Africa. And that is why brands don't want to be there. I said what I said. That was a mic drop. Tiny mic, Holly Landlark M2S. Shameless plug, hashtag not sponsored. Seriously, not sponsored.